Every time we bring our Bromptons back to the Netherlands, the infrastructure completely blows us away. So we're back for year 3, leaving the UK behind to see what's changed and how it compares to Glasgow. Welcome to episode 1. The overnight ferry makes the journey seamless, bringing us straight to the edge of the world's most advanced cycling network. As always, the Brompton is the ultimate travel tool here. No cars, no logistics, just unfold and roll straight into the wild. And just over a minute from the port, we hit our very first piece of infrastructure, a standard Dutch roundabout. Back home in Glasgow, a junction like this is usually a high-stress gamble, but watch how they design it here. And just a little further on, look at this. A perfectly smooth, completely segregated, bi-directional red cycle lane. It's wider than some car lanes in Glasgow, and we're barely even started the trip. What's incredible here is how they seamlessly connect the brand new active travel networks with older infrastructure. Nothing feels disconnected or an afterthought. And because the network is continuous and safe, you see clusters of everyday people out using it constantly. This is just normal daily life here. We spent the next few miles just enjoying the sheer fluidity of the network. When paths are this intuitive, navigating a brand new country feels completely effortless. At the next junction, this stunning classic soft top pulled out ahead of me. Back home, a sports car crossing your path usually means hitting the brakes or bracing for impact. But because the junction design completely separated our space, I could actually just roll along and admire a beautiful piece of engineering instead of viewing it as a threat. That is the psychological shift of good design. It removes the stress for everyone on the road. As we pushed along, the scenery shifted into a heavy industrial zone. We're talking massive gas and oil silos, but even out here, the network signs keep you perfectly tracked, and the paths remain completely continuous. This stretch really highlights the genius of Dutch spatial planning. You've got heavy quarry trucks flying past and freight trains running parallel right next to you. But because we are safely separated by a wide green buffer zone, the ride feels completely serene. Then we ran into a classic piece of Dutch cycling culture, a microcart sharing the lane. These tiny vehicles are legally allowed on certain bike paths here to keep vulnerable and elderly drivers mobile without exposing them to heavy traffic lanes. Travelling by bike completely changes how you experience a country. You aren't insulated in a car box or stuck underground in a train. You actually get to watch the landscape shift in real time. As we cruised past a moving windmill, the open space started to tighten up. The traffic visibility increased. And then, almost out of nowhere, we were suddenly in the middle of a dense, built-up city centre. But because the route never broke or forced us into traffic, the entry felt completely seamless. No stressful lane changes, no sharing space with aggressive city buses, just a direct pipeline straight to our hotel. As we hit the inner streets, the sheer scale of cycling adoption is everywhere. Bikes literally line every square inch of the curb. But it's not just about bikes, look how seamlessly the infrastructure integrates with public transit. With the heavy riding done for the day, we pulled up outside an Albert Heijn to grab a quick snack. Since we're travelling light, we took turns keeping an eye on the Bromptons, the golden rule of bike touring. Refueled and refreshed, we hit the final stretch of the day's route and officially arrive at our hotel. We checked in and got a quick look at our room. Absolutely lovely, cosy, and the perfect base camp for the first 2 nights of this epic trip. We dropped our bags and immediately headed out to explore the local area, eventually walking straight into the city's world-famous Vondelpark. And honestly, standing here, I was just completely blown away. The sheer volume of people on bikes is incredible. It's not a niche hobby or an extreme sport here, It's just default, effortless mobility for thousands of people, and I absolutely love it. Walking back from the park, we wound our way through some incredibly quiet neighbourhood streets, and we stumbled across this beautiful little parklet. It's a perfect example of a third space, an area that used to be dedicated entirely to cars, now completely reclaimed for people to sit, chat and relax. By the time we reached Peffisbrug, taking in the evening views over the water, day one of this trip was officially in the books. Day one proved that the infrastructure here effortlessly bridges heavy industrial zones right into quiet, livable urban spaces, but our Amsterdam adventure is just getting started. Tomorrow we are locking up the Bromptons to explore the city entirely by foot before heading into the legendary Paradiso venue to see the incredible Sierra Pharrell live on stage. Hit that subscribe button right now so you don't miss day two, and I'll see you in the next one.